Brother, how are you? Are you okay? Oh, nice one. Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Who did you speak to? He's here.
Yeah. How are you? Okay. Student leader.
Oh, nice. Okay. Where? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
As a member of the County Assembly, Kiambu.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
This is our CEO, Kenya Young Parliamentarian.
Okay. Now, thank
This is
you.
Honorable Mwenje, Chief Whip.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Also Kenya member of
Okay.
Very good.
Please allow some of us. Let's go. Yes. All right.
So I'm told you're in a hurry.
I must leave at 11.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're going to conduct a very simple introduction.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. We'll keep, yeah. All right. Thanks, my brother. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome. The Honorable Julius Malema'S. Being escorted by the Honorable Ukunji, Honorable Mwenje, Honorable Caleb Amisi, Honorable Amos Mwago, Honorable Ezena.
Oh, nice. You spoke to Vianney?
Yes, we spoke.
Yes. Okay.
This one will be very short and sweet because the Honorable Malema has to leave for South Africa, which is just another part of Kenya. Welcome, comrade. Good people, as is tradition, if you allow me, I just beg that we all be upstanding so that we start.
May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty, plenty be found within our border.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Like I said, we will keep this very short, but equally very sweet because time is not on our side. Distinguished honorable members of parliament who are present, my names are Anthony Samba Buluma, I'm the CEO of Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association. My work here is very simple, to welcome you all and afford this opportunity to the members of parliament to introduce the Honorable Malema. You know, Kenya and South Africa enjoy a very cordial relationship, and not just cordial, brotherhood and sisterhood. So our gathering here is just to affirm that we belong to one world, which is Africa. We belong to one nation, which is Africa. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity to invite the chairman of Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association to briefly say a few words. Please remember to
CEO, the Honorable Julius Malema, EFF party leader, and also a very good inspiration to the young people of Africa and his delegation, the members of parliament who are with us here today, the members of Senate, the members of the county assembly who are here, together with the student leaders that are here, and also youth leaders and the student leaders. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. In South Africa, they say Viva or Amanda.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
So we are privileged today to have Julius Malema with us. And before I say a few words, and I know he is quite in a tight schedule, I don't know how many minutes he's giving us, but I would like him to allow us to at least do some introduction. I will just give the members of parliament a minute, so that at least we are also in the same page. But I would like to start with the members of the county assembly. I would like to start with the members of the county assembly to just stand so that Honorable Malema can see you wherever you are, and we can clap for them. Thank you very much. I would like to have the members of and the leaders of the student leaders who are here can just stand, and we can clap for them. We can see them behind the camera. Then I would like to allow, and kindly members, you are just introducing yourself for a minute so that we don't mess his flight schedule. And humbly I request all of you to just come here so that we can do that very quickly and briefly. And these are young members, Honorable Malema, so I know they obey the rules of the game. Maybe we can start with the Member of Parliament who is of this place, Honorable Mwago. Please, 1 minute.
Very quickly.
Thank you, Chair. Young Daisy, Malema'S Julius, my colleagues, MCS, and leaders, sweet leaders, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Mwago Mosmaina, Member of Parliament for Sarai constituency, that is the Nairobi CBD. I'm the Member of Parliament there, and you are a great inspiration to me. I've come from the ghetto too. I've fought my way through, and I'm leading the most powerful constituency. I'm leading the most powerful constituency in Kenya, and I'll be your ambassador when you seek to lead Africa. When you seek to unite all leaders of Africa, I'll be your #1 soldier in Kenya. Thank you so much.
Let's have Honorable Mwenje, also the Deputy Chief Whip, Minority Whip. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Chair. Honorable Malema, my name is Mark Mwenje, Member of Parliament from a constituency here in Nairobi, Malema'S West, and recently I became the Deputy Minority Whip, and I'm the youngest to hold that position. So you're an inspiration to us. For me, I'm not on the government side, you're on the opposition side. You're the ones keeping the struggle here, and I believe you're a Pan-African. You'll continue to set a good example for us young leaders in Africa. Thank you, and welcome to the
Let's have Honorable Zena, also part of the Senate of this place, and also a very promising young leader. Welcome.
Thank you. All protocol observed. Good morning.
Good morning.
Senator Hezena Lemalitian from Samburu County, the youth senator in the Republic of Kenya, and I'm also known as the Queen of the North, Global Peace Ambassador, Goodwill Culture and Charity Ambassador for the Commonwealth, and I'm also still the reigning Miss Commonwealth Kenya. And up and above all, I am a very staunch Pan-Africanist. And I was coming here to actually attack Honorable Malema for touching on a very raw nerve during the electioneering period in Kenya.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellency, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. But I'm very inspired by his wisdom yesterday, because I was very shocked. I was like, does this man know who Raila Odinga is?
Yeah.
He is the older version of Malema in this country. When the economic situation is too hard, we cry to Baba. I remember you crying to Mama, and that is when I actually knew about you. But now that you are right on course, I want to say that you're inspiring a very strong movement of young Pan-Africanists, and you are really empowering us, and I really hope that in your famous speeches, because when you speak, even the rats and snakes listen in this continent, you deconstruct the abuse of the Kaunda suit. That only strictly Pan-Africans will wear the Kaunda suit as a representation of the true position of Africans. And in this room today is the future of Africa and the future of this country. Regardless of our political divides, regardless of who our political principles are right now, this is the future of Kenya. So I really hope you take a very keen note on the abuse of the Kaunda suit, because we do not want wolves wearing sheepskin. I am also the treasurer of the Kenya Young Parliamentarians, and I'm honored to meet you.
Please clap for Zena, please. And at this juncture, I want to invite my good friend, Honorable Caleb. Caleb is serving his second term, and he is also a member of Kenya Young Parliamentarian, a staunch Pan-African. Welcome, Caleb.
Thank you very much for those wonderful introduction. My name is Caleb Amisi, a member of Parliament representing a constituency in the Rift Western side of Kenya. It's called Saboti. If we had time, we could go together because I'm actually headed there right away. I'm about 2 minutes to leave here for airport. But I just said to wait for you. I was telling you the other time that I have come to South Africa like 3 times. And every time I come, I always look for you. Unfortunately, I have not been able to. I once met your colleague here, Godrich. We had a good conversation. And that time he said you are actually hiding. That's why I could not meet you. You can see here, you don't need to hide. So when things go bad there, please give me a call. You don't need to hide over here. But we appreciate what Zena said. We were touched, some of us who have been in the trenches in the call for a new order. So when we touched on our Baba, we are a bit down.
Yes.
But yesterday's speech,
We felt.
already
Has covered everything.
so feel forgiven. What you said yesterday was everything. You are now forgiven. Feel free, you can walk around freely. I just want to finish this. There was a constructivist, a social constructivist by the name Alexander Went, who said that anarchy is what the state make of it. Probably had not met Malema, because he will say anarchy is what Malema makes of it. Because where you go, you create anarchy, you create chaos. But you know, that is what we need to do. We need to disturb the stubborn status quo until we get there. So Malema, you are not alone in this journey. When you come here and you find young members of Parliament ready to receive you, it tells the spirit is all over. So feel welcome. We'll come to South Africa, and this journey, we must complete it. For all this time you've been fighting, and you've been a towering figure. You've been there for quite a while. You've encouraged young members and these youths all over. You will see on social media, you're trending all over. So Malema, you just carry on. We support you. We must achieve. As an African continent, we must achieve. And we'll be there with you the long haul. Thank you very much, and feel welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Caleb. I also will not take a lot of time. I want to say that Honorable Malema, I wish you had more time with the Kenya Young Parliamentarians. You know, yesterday you touched a few nerves. We are close to 71 members of Parliament. But because you mentioned something yesterday, a number of those members have Skyped this event. But that is the beauty of our country, Honorable Malema, that we allow the freedom of speech. And we also allow what we call positive criticism. But Honorable Malema, I want to tell you that the young members of Parliament who were close to 50 wanted to come here because they see you as a vision. They listen to you, they listen to your clarion call on Pan-Africanism, and they want to associate with you. And Honorable Malema, I want to tell you that you are not alone in this journey. And the journey itself, I want to say as a person who serves in the ruling party, the UDA, and say that one of the people who are leading in the call for Pan-Africanism is His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. And you might have your doubts, and I don't know where you've been looking for him, because you said you are looking for him. But, Honorable President, we have come with him to South Africa. We addressed the Pan-Africa Parliament, and its clarion call on Africa to get sanity in terms of how it carries itself reverberated with everybody. And that is something that has not changed. He repeated the same thing when he spoke in the UN. And actually, many African countries that are still languishing in poverty, that are still cannot feed themselves, I believe you agree in many things, and I believe you are also a friend with His Excellency the President on the issue of Pan-Africanism. I also want to say that, Honorable Malema, we need serious forums and exchange programs between our African countries that can be able to create a serious force of young politicians and leaders so that this clarion call can get roots and be able to be entrenched in our country and our countries. It is unfortunate, honorable members, that close to all the countries having gotten independence, 50 years and above, Africa cannot still feed itself. Africa cannot still go ahead with its development projects without borrowing from abroad. We have to fight these demons, and we have to come together as young people, led by our seniors, the Honorable Malema and the rest, so that we can redeem Africa from those trenches. And I agree with you 100%, Honorable Malema. I want to send you, when you're going back to South Africa, to come back again here.
Yes.
And come back with no heart. And when you come back, don't stir a lot of waters before we meet you. Because we want to meet you and talk to you. We want to hear your journey from when you are the youth leader in ANC and how you have come to create a serious force under the EFF banner in South Africa. Thank you so much. And without wasting a lot of time, I want to welcome you to address these young parliamentarians. Welcome, Honorable Malema, the General.
Program Director and leaders of the youth and students and young parliamentarians and young senators. I'm very happy to be here and always very happy to speak to the future of the African continent because that's where I come from. I come from what we called the Young Pioneers. The Young Pioneers was an organization of children in the ANC. It used to be called Masupatsela. That's where we were taught struggle songs. That's where we were taught how to recite poems. That's where we were inculcated with political discipline and culture. And then from there I went to be a student leader in COSAS, what is called Congress of South African Students. It's an organization that is aligned to the ANC for pre-tertiary students. And then I became the youth leader of the ANC and a leader of the ANC. So there's no step I've missed in my life of politics. I've led the ANC in my own right, not through the youth league. And which means I've led a ruling party. So I can teach you politics of ruling party, scenes of the incumbency, and I can teach you politics of the opposition. So I know both. I've been in the ruling party and I'm now in the opposition. One thing that you should know as young people is that you've got a license, a permit to make mistakes. So you must never in your youth seek to be perfect. Because once you seek to be perfect, you cease to be the youth. You are an elder. So there is no difference between you and Raila. The ultimate difference. When they say you are a leader of the youth in Raila Odinga's party, there must be a difference between the youth in the Raila Odinga's party and the leadership of the mother body. So the mother body has got a duty to always call you to order. So, because you've got energy, you must demand that things must be done, and they must be done now. And the elders will always drag their feet because they've been there like you, being impatient and then deciding, these things are what they are, anyway, they won't change. You must come and push them to change. You must never, ever allow elders to make mistakes without you, the young ones, calling them out. So when the elections were run here in Kenya, results were announced, there was a threat of violence. And we know what happened in the previous elections here in Kenya, where people died because of elections. Why should elections in Africa be associated with death? Because democracy is not death. Democracy, by all means, is a right to live and live a beautiful life. And most of the comrades in the Comrade Raila Odinga's party were not happy with me when I said, you're not going to do violence in the name of elections and in the name of Honorable Raila Odinga. Because no one must die after elections. Even when Raila Odinga is robbed and cheated, with clear evidence, no one must die. Robbed with evidence, daylight, no one must die. Why should people die? Because you are robbed elections. There are systems in Kenya where dispute can be made, and then once the final arbiter makes a final decision, whether we're happy with it or we're not happy with it, we must accept it. Those clowns in America, they rob each other all the time. Yeah? I mean, Trump was feeling like he's being robbed. He even said, stop counting, stop the counting. Because he said he was being robbed. Then they went to storm whatever they stormed, but they came back to their senses. No. It's not done like that in America, where we storm things and people die in the name of elections. So if we say we are equal like them, we want to be at the same level with them, violence is not an option on the basis of electoral outcome. Must never be. Why is violence not an option? It's going to be black on black violence. And you can't say you're a Pan-Africanist and be willing to kill another African based on elections. If it is meant to be for President Raila Odinga to become president of Kenya one day, no amount of cheating will stop that. They can succeed now, it will eventually happen. So those who are not happy with me say, get out of Kenya politics, this is not South Africa, this is my home, this is my politics, Kenya's politics are my politics. The same way the politics of South Africa are yours. Any destabilization in any corner of Africa affects us. I celebrate the victory of Niger as if it's mine. Because anything that drives the French out of our continent is worth celebrating by all of us. And that's why I celebrate that. Now, the ones of President Ruto are also not happy with me. Because I said, why would you say you're a Pan-Africanist? Because Pan-Africanism is necessitated by the fact that we are an oppressed nation. We're a dejected nation. We're a rejected nation as Africans. That everyone else who's rejected should find sympathy in us because we know what being rejected means. Now, Palestinians are being rejected, are being isolated, they are being killed on their own land. The same way the Mau rebellion heroes were killed by occupiers. The same way the Bambata rebellion heroes were killed by the occupiers. The same way people were killed in South Africa during apartheid. President comes and says, I'm with Israel. How do you say that? And Israel that is bombing children, in hospitals, pregnant women in hospitals. How do you say you're with Israel that bombs a refugee camp? What happened to an international law? A president can say a lot of things and say nothing at the end. President Ruto has got a platform to speak and not say anything. On Palestine, on Israel, on it. I think it is called a diplomatic language. So you stand up and then speak like that about pregnant women who are dying, and then you say we must keep quiet because if we speak, we are attacking the president. No. No. A Pan-Africanist, when he sees children being murdered, a Pan-Africanist, when he sees occupiers killing the rightful owners of the land, can never sympathize with such people. Palestinians can't give me anything. They can't buy me. Even if they wanted, they are not in no position to give anyone anything. They are in a difficult situation. At the age of 9 and 10, police raided my house, male police, found us sleeping. They were looking for young boys and men. In my house, there were no men, there was only women. My grandmother had 9 children, 8 of them were women. When they searched a full house full of people, they couldn't find men. And those male police had to strip off my mother, take off her clothes in front of me for them to confirm if she's a real woman. If you lived that experience, you will know what the Palestinians are going through. Forceful removal is what we lived in South Africa. We know what it means. Where you wake up tomorrow, yesterday you had all the house, land, everything. Tomorrow you have nothing. That's what we see now in Palestine. So many people, 9,000 people killed in weeks. No international warrant of arrest has been issued. The war between Ukraine and Russia has taken only 1,500 people died in Ukraine, 9,000 in Palestine. Yet there's a warrant of arrest against President Putin. He has never bombed a hospital. He has never bombed a refugee camp. Let me tell you, even if the president of Hamas runs into a refugee camp, you have no reason to bomb a refugee camp. Once he runs into a refugee camp, that's the end of it. You're like, guys, you have to stop. We have to find another means to go and take him out there. Once he runs into a hospital, you have to stop. Because here is a pregnant woman who walks into a hospital. She's going to give birth. She doesn't know there is a Hamas president there. She's not part of the people who are raised that the Hamas president must go into a hospital. She gets killed for no reason. And then President Ruto says, I'm with Israel. And then you, the young ones in his party, don't stand up to say, but no, South Africa and come and eat lunch here. And then in the afternoon get into a plane, go back. So why should it be an issue? All of these visas, borders must be done away. You know why they think we are xenophobic? We don't know each other. The more we do away with visas and borders and all of that, the more we're going to know each other and realize that we're actually one thing. There's nothing I'm seeing in this room which I've not seen in South Africa. There's nothing that suggests to me, as I wake up, as I walk the streets of Nairobi, that suggests something different to me. It's my first time here. But it's as if I've been here many times. Why? Everything is familiar. These are my people. This is me. And to say you welcome me in Kenya is like welcoming me in Johannesburg. This is my home. Everywhere else in Africa, it's our home. You, the youth, must come and learn in South Africa. Yes. South Africans must come and learn here in our universities, cultural exchanges, and we must start to listen to the same music, watch the same movies, to do away with this Western imperialism that manifests itself through songs and television and movies and all of that. Nigerians have got it. They are on the right track. They need our support. How do we support them? We must join them in producing our own movies, our own music, and do away with Beyonce. I saw honorable member, Senator, saying she saw Beyonce in Dubai and did not even get starstruck. It's supposed to be like that. She's a human being. So we see one of our own. But you do that once you start having a self-respect, to know that we all are. We can do what they are doing. And we can even do it much more better than them because we are gifted nations. Remember, we're surviving under difficult conditions of colonialism and imperialism. Imagine, as we survive under such conditions, imagine if there were no such conditions. Would have been something else in this world. The world will be coming to nil here because of who we are. So many resources. 90% of the platinum of the world is found in Africa. You can look at what they do in Nigeria. They take over through a revolutionary coup, remove the French puppets, remove the French, and then increase the price of uranium by huge percentages because France was stealing it and buying it with low amounts of money. Then the boys come and say, no ways, you're going to pay market price. As a result, in less than a year, because of political decisiveness, that's what politics can do. In less than a year, Nigeria is now one of the biggest, the fastest growing economy in Africa because of revolutionary effort. So, all these clowns that have colonized us don't need anything. They need a political will to say, this is us, this is where we stand. You either like us or you don't like us. But we are not going to trade with people who disrespect us. You're going to respect us and you're going to trade with us in this way. So, that's you, the youth, who must radicalize the politics of the ruling party and the opposition and say anything that is not African, we're not going to associate with it, including the coups that are happening in the continent where a French puppet is replaced by another French puppet. We must not support such nonsense. Like it happened in Guinea, Conakry, where a president is removed. We thought, oh, maybe there's something, only to realize there's another puppet of France who's coming to take over the country without introducing anything drastic and revolutionary to turn around the Guinea-Conakry, except to say, no, that president wanted to increase his years in office. That's why we stopped him. What is revolutionary about that? Because this term of offices, of saying you serve 2 terms, 3 terms, they are also not ours. They were imposed on us. So it must not look like when you say a person can't serve more than 2 terms, you think you are revolutionary. No. The people themselves will make their own setup of how they want to be ruled. That's fine. If they want 2 terms, it's okay. But don't speak like it's a God-given fact that we must serve only 2 terms because America said so or Britain said so. No. You remove a president in Guinea-Conakry, replace it with a French puppet. You have a war going on. So many, I said to you, 1,500 Ukraine, Russia, 9,000 in Palestine. I think it's more than that in DRC.
Yes.
In DRC, no one is saying anything.
True.
Because the barbarics, the monkeys, are killing each other. We don't care. Let them finish each other there. It can't be that if there is a different race being killed, there is noise. But when there are Africans being killed, it doesn't matter African on African or state on state, tribe on tribe. As long as there is death, people being killed, there can't be any amount of justification. No one has ever said anything about that death which is happening in DRC. where thousands are being killed. No one can say anything. You know why? It's an African life. It's a cheap life. They don't care about it. So we'll have this conversation one day. These guys are showing me the time there at the back. So I have to disappear. But thank you for coming. And then let's have the conversation continuing in whatever different forms. Don't worry about me. Whether they attack me or they don't attack me, I don't care about those things. When they sit alone, they know I'm telling the truth. And as long as they know that, I'm very happy about it. Thank you.